Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, Ba'asham, Racha HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, salutation and blessings to the hopeful elect that is scattered throughout the four winds of the earth, that believe wholeheartedly in the true doctrine that is being pushed throughout the four winds of the earth, war in hope of mercy and salvation in these last seconds of these last days, in these trying times that are upon us here in Babylon the Great. To you I say shalom. Alright, this video here is gonna be a somewhat like some information. I listened to this Sean Ryan show. What's today? The 6th? No, today's the 5th. Yeah, Friday. I believe it. Yeah, it was Friday. Was it Friday or was it Saturday morning? One of the mornings, when I was at the wash house or whatnot. But anyway, I was listening to this show, and this is the Shalakia. This is the Sean Ryan show. All right. You have this Sam Shoemate, which he's an ex three-letter alphabet employee. All right, because if you know anything about this guy's show, he only brings on people that have worked for the three-letter government agencies, military, things of that nature, and they're basically American lovers. He bring on American lovers who have served their country in any type of way, shape, or form. All right, so you can get to understand his type of audience. And so he had this guy Sam Shoemate on here, which I suggest the whole hour is a good watch. But all this is telling us, all right, is that when you watch the whole thing, but I'm trying to put it in words, to where these coming events, all right, they are definitely coming. They definitely will be real. And the GOV, all right, Mint, the Gov earned Mint, they know about it. All right, they know about it. I'm gonna put it that way. And these are Idumeans that have served their country, that have served, and proud Americans, love America, love their freedom, want to save America, but know that their own government is corrupt. All right, they have this information, and they pass this information to their intel in the U.S. government, whether it be the FBI, CIA, or whatnot. They pass the information that they get on, and they're not doing anything about it. All right, it's because they want it to happen. All right, so this will be a just a information type video. I got some scriptures lined up as well, because remember all those troops that was being let in over the border. All right, okay, for them past 3-4 years, all right, now they're getting ready to start being activated. Okay, and we're gonna start to see and I'm gonna say it in Sean Ryan's words, a bloody 2025. That's his words, and this is a ex-Navy SEAL. All right, and they have intel information that these suicide bombing vests, and this is just one inkling of what they were talking about in this hour-long interview, that the suicide bomb vests that they have, they're undetectable. They can go through metal detectors and you won't know them. So they were saying how they can get through, get into stadiums and all type of events. So 2025 is definitely gearing up to be that year of the hopeful year of our deliverance and destruction and judgment upon Esau. All right. So I'm going to play just a little bit here in the beginning, and then I'm going to come here to the end. All right. To where they, they get into it a little, a little more in depth. Really the last, this last whole 15 minutes, they talking that talk, you know what I'm saying? And they both are afraid. They both ready to start hunkering their family down and, you know what I'm saying, weathering what's getting ready to happen. So without any further ado, I'm gonna play this, and then we'll hit a couple of scriptures, and that'll be it. Okay, it's gonna be a very society change in 2025. It is very well much so looking that way.
Sam Shoemate, welcome to the show, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm nervous about this one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really nervous about this one. So yesterday I come into work and
hey, them was real Edomites, right? Real Idumean American warriors right here, man. And they worry about the conversation that they're getting ready to have, because they understand and know that the threat is absolutely real, and that it will be a bloody 2025. There will be T attacks, all right? And the government knows about it. Order Abkeo, all right, in the making.
And our stuff's been exploding because of the Sarah Adams, Sarah Adams Scott Man Legend did an interview with Masood, kind of warning everybody about it's going to be a lot of terrorism here in 2025. Didn't take long. Jan 1, it hit. And, it's interesting. We couldn't get any mainstream media's outlets to pay attention to those interviews. And nobody would really give Sarah a voice. Now everybody wants to give Sarah a voice because, guess what? The fucking CIA targeter was actually right. Mainstream media gave her no attention. So that's been going crazy. I come in yesterday and for an interview, the first thing I do is talk to my producer, Jeremy, and he says that he's been in contact with you and that you had received some type of manifesto or email from the Green Beret that set off the car bomb at Trump Hotel in Las Vegas.
Right.
So they got intel, just to give you a little bit. You're going to have to go back and watch it all yourself. I'm not going to play too much more of this beginning part. But basically, they have intel that the guy that set off the bomb at the Trump Hotel in that Tesla truck, he's a Green Beret, and he did that as a diversion to get the attention of the higher-ups, to get the attention of the of people to blow the whistle on the shit that's coming, is what these guys are saying. All right, and they got emails, and like I said, you got to watch the whole interview to get the ins and the outs. But I'm gonna play just a little bit more of this part, and then I'm gonna jump to the end, and then I'm gonna grab a couple of scriptures, and that'll be it.
Jump in an interview and come out. My phone is blown up. Apparently CID, Army CID, which is, how would you describe it? It's like it's
FBI light.
Yeah.
They are federal agents, but yeah,
the Army's FBI.
Yeah.
I get all these messages from these people that say CID is talking to this person and that person, and one of these guys on the list is still operational, and they want his name redacted, and every Green Beret I know is texting me about this. It fucking really freaked me out, man. It was like, well, how did this leak? Who's tracking my fucking phone? All that kind of stuff. So I just want to say thank you for being here, because I was eavesdropping in on that conversation you had with Jeremy, and And this is a big story, man. This is big.
It is.
Real big. And so thank you for being here.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
But I do, before we get too heavy, I got some gifts for you.
All right, so there's just the setup. All right, now I'm gonna jump to the end where they get to talking. They get to talking real greasy. They get into the greasiness.
Conjecture, all conjecture, say that is likely he has no affiliations to ISIS. Things. So you're telling me this guy who was a former 42 Alpha S1 guy, human resources, pushes your paper, and then an IT guy, 25 Bravo, is somehow connected to a Green Beret team sergeant out of 10? No.
He's talking about the guy that did the New Orleans thing. They're saying that they're not connected. Okay, they're saying the New Orleans guy is separate from the Trump Tower explosion incident. All right, they're saying that Trump Tower explosion incident is somebody from the inside of the Green Berets trying to get the attention of whoever he can to expose what the hell is coming and what is going on. Okay, that's what the whole interview is about. Information, the information that they received.
So they found an ISIS flag in New Orleans, which they didn't find any of that here.
I think that might have been just some silliness on his part, trying to take on some kind of Islamic banner of jihad. I would conjecture, all conjecture, say that is likely he has no affiliations to ISIS. But
You know, I wonder. I don't really believe in coincidences. You know, and both of these explosions happened in the same day, or both of these attacks, whatever you want to call them, happened on the same day. The attack and the explosion, which obviously wasn't meant to be an attack.
that's fair, and I don't believe in coincidences either normally, but I look at a landmark day like January 1st, and I think, what better day? Any day. I'm going to do a thing January 1st.
Yeah.
And I think possibly old boy in New Orleans had help. I don't think that he could have done all the spotting and surveying and assessing himself. He would have likely had to at least have a spotter to say, yeah, you're good to go. Maybe. But I think that's plausible. But other than that, I have a hard time making that connection.
You know, this email, I wonder who else he reached out to. This came in from Dabber GMIB or MLB at protonmail.com. So he was even using an encrypted email service, which I think everybody in intelligence and special operations knows what Proton Mail is.
Yeah. I would imagine if Joe Rogan, Fox News, name some other big names out there, scrub their emails right now, they could probably find a message from this guy.
Yeah.
He came to me because I'm like D-list media. I'm the guy who has kind of a platform on social media, but I'm not big time. But I can kind of get things to the big time every once in a while if it's a big enough story. And that's what he was hoping for. He was just throwing mud at the wall, trying to get somebody to get his message out.
Well, it's going to be big time now.
You know.
But is there anything else we need to cover that you can think of?
This is how to get in shape fast.
If you want to drop,
Commercial. Salaki.
start eating more of these. You might.
Jeremy?
Did you want to go into the other item we talked about in the ride over here this morning?
Oh, can I say it?
Yes.
Yeah, the main pads.
I'm unfamiliar.
All right. So I'm saying this with you can decide to use this or cut it out. There was this is hard to work with because keep in mind, let me give some background on this. I'm an intelligence analyst and I've spent many years validating sources, taking information in, putting it back out, telling my humenters, hey, this source, this is valid. Let's give him a rating of this, do this, recommendations, so we can we can identify good sources in the field that give us information, and we can say, yes, this is a, you know, an A source versus, you know, an F6. This is just garbage. Somebody got paid for something. I still work in intelligence. I'm an intelligence officer. I work for a nonprofit. We Remnant Ministries out of Texas. In fact, the website is in my bio on X. I work for Dr. Pete Chambers, Green Beret, and we were involved in counter-human trafficking, along with just providing ministry to all kinds of stuff. Border operations. Most recently, we've been involved in West North Carolina a great deal, and we had some confirmed reporting through two solid sources. And this is where I have to be very iffy. And I told him in the car, and he can tell you offline, I cannot say this on the air, but we had two solid sources, one south of the border and then one from an element within our own government, that confirmed independently of each other that some Iranian-made man pads, so surface-to-air missiles, had come across the border. We had the location and everything else. Well, Doc, that's what he goes by, Doc Chambers, he put this out on a podcast, and I was very emphatic, like, this is not stuff that I like to put on social media. I'm an intel guy by trade. This stuff is not for social media consumption. We got this to Secret Service. We did the whole gamut and got everything pushed to them, and that's why Trump was pushing a lot of this stuff out when he was, because we had told the Secret Service, and they had the reporting and everything else. But we have not, to my knowledge, have not recovered those man pads. Now, I'm not privy to that, but what I do know we have done is we have apprehended the couriers on a second run of theirs, and we have local law enforcement got together with federal law enforcement and rolled up the safe house in, I will not say that on this show, but they rolled up the safe house where it was, and we have since identified what that issue was on the border.
No, let me just. Where did they come through?
They came through an actual point of entry, in a legal point of entry along the border. I'd have to pull up the original reporting, but we had the actual.
So we now have Iranian missiles. Who knows how many inside the United States?
That is not something you're going to see in a lot of places. I didn't even want to talk about it. It was one of those things where I was just amplifying what he was putting out already, because I was like, man, I don't know about putting this out. But it was something we found was pertinent, because at the time, Trump was still campaigning. He was flying around, and there was the reports were their intent was to take down Trump's airplane. So at the time, Secret Service switched things up a bit, and allegedly, from what I've told, they started flying him around on charters for a while until they could identify and kind of mitigate that threat. But that was the reporting stream that was coming out at the time. Feds handled it, off my plate.
You know, I mean, I'm with you on the not releasing certain things on social media. I understand that, but on the other hand, it seems to be the only way to demand any type of accountability or get this and force FBI, Homeland, whoever else is involved to dive into this shit and actually take part. And that's what we've been doing here on the show with Scott Mann, retired Lieutenant Colonel Green Beret, Sarah Adams, former agency targeter. We brought on Legend, who is an Army intelligence guy who goes by Legend because he doesn't want to reveal his name because he still is very involved. And we even went all the way to Vienna to interview Commander Massoud, the leader of the National Resistance Front in Afghanistan. And you know, we've been talking about this stuff for a year. We got it to Congress. Congressman out of Knoxville, Tennessee, Tim Burchett, sent a bill up. It's literally about we need to stop funding the Taliban, $40 to $87 million a week. The Taliban has set up multiple NGOs within Afghanistan, and basically what we're doing is sending loads of cash to NGOs that the Taliban had set up. We're funding our own demise, and nobody's fucking paying attention. Nobody's paying attention. We tried to get it in the media. We got a little bit of hits. Most of them were from outside the U.S. We had a reporter out of India kind of cover it, but we've been warning about what's happening for damn near a year now. Sarah first came on, I believe it was October of 2023 was her first interview, and nobody took it seriously. Now we have the New Orleans attack. We have Iranian missiles. We have these invisible bombs. Do you know about the invisible bombs? So now these terrorist organizations have developed invisible bombs that will get through metal detectors, any kind of screening device that's out there, and they brag about this. And now we just did a Twitter Spaces with Sarah Adams, and they are now bragging that what we know about the invisible bomb, it's now even more advanced than it was before. So that means they can get this into stadiums, they can get this into airports, they can get this pretty much anywhere they want, because you cannot detect it.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Great.
So, for the people out there, look, there's no stopping what's here. You cannot stop this.
Nope, you can't roll back.
Not
You
with
can't put
what
the
we
genie back
have
in the bottle.
already in here. We have sleeper cells.
Yep.
We're already getting reports that I just lost my train of thought. Oh, we're already getting some reports that there may be more involved in the Louisiana, New Orleans attack that they're not releasing. We also, I'll tell you this, there's a group of people flying around and basically briefing up different departments, governors about what's coming, how to deal with it in their communities. There are deputies in New Orleans who put in requests for training on how to take care of a threat like this, and those fucking requests were denied. They were denied. And so what I basically want to say is it's going to be a bloody 2025. I think that's very obvious. And so for those of you that are looking for something to do and if finally come to the realization that our government is failing us, here's what you need to do. You need to get with your local communities. You need to, especially schools. Schools are very vulnerable no matter how many active shooters we have in the schools. The infrastructure that's been put in, which is minimal to none, a lot of schools still have none. You better start holding your schools accountable, and you better start raising hell and having them upgrade security no matter what the cost, because no matter what the cost is, it's not gonna amount to the loss of life that we will potentially see throughout the United States. And start calling your congressmen. Get these guys to do something.
Yeah.
Start calling your senators. Get these guys to do something. They have been warned for over a year that this is coming, and nobody wants to take it seriously. Nobody wants to take it seriously. We contacted the House Foreign Affairs Committee. They did like a Zoom call.
Yeah, that's
Just for a little media hit. Our government is failing us. And so it's in our hands now. It's your kids. It's your wife. It's your husband. It's your parents. They're going to pay the price for what we have installed in this country. And it's now up to us, because they aren't going to do anything. So on that note, like I said, it'll be on my X account, Sean Ryan 762. The emails will be there. The footage will be there. Any of the stuff we talked about will be there. It'll be obviously, on audio on YouTube, and your accounts on Instagram and X are.
I just focus on X as Samosaur. If you want to follow the military nonsense, it's Terminal CWO on Instagram.
Perfect. Well, we'll link those below. And once again, Sam, I really appreciate you having
Absolutely.
So that was just a little 15, not the whole interview, but what Sean Ryan was saying there at the end summed up all the information that they were discussing within this hour of an interview. So as we've been saying. They say they've been warning since a year. We've been warning the apostles and elders for 40 years. Okay? Now, the time is here. All right? The time is here, man. Like Apostle Ramab said, the men are getting ready to be separated from the boys. All right? This is the book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. You know what? I'm gonna start at 14. Well, you know what? Let me get these other scriptures first, because I can end it with that. Let's go here to Jeremiah 51. Okay? Because as you heard them say, those they got Iranian man pads or surface to air missiles that came in across the border, and they know of them, and they don't know where they are. They don't know how many of them is. All right, those things are capable of shooting commercial planes out of the sky, causing real terror out here, man. All right, this is the time we're living in. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 51 and 14. It says, "The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, surely I will fill thee with men." Remember all the men that came in here from all over. All right, they came in here from all over for the sole purpose of what we are getting ready to experience. All right, and our only hope and way up out of it is the trust and hope in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's it. All right. It's finna get. You saw those two men were ex-active duty. All right. In the shit, and they were talking about it, how it scares them. All right. So again, Jeremiah 51:14. "The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men." All them troops that came in, all right? Came in disguised under the migrants, okay? "As with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee." And that's going to be those T attacks, all right? Those T attacks. When you look, a caterpillar is known for, let's look that up. All right. A devouring. All right. That's what this represents. Okay. The Lord has had these men come over here from them different lands that have a perfect hatred for this place. All right, and they've been given the green light to start devouring and destroying and committing these T attacks. All right. And the government knows about it and they're not doing anything, just like you just saw. All right. So the Hebrew word is yalak, all right, which means young locust, early stage of development, or caterpillar as devouring. All right. Devouring. And that's what it is. To lick up or devour. And that's what these T attacks are going to do. All right. They're going to devour lands. They're going to cause great and mass bloodshed. Like Sean Ryan said, it's going to be a bloody 2025. All right. A bloody one. Okay. Let's finish that out. Let's read that. It says, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. And that shout is going to be these different type of T attacks that's going to come. All right. And cause mass death, mass devouring. All right. from there, let's get the 9th chapter in the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 9, 20 through 22, it says, Yet hear the word of the Lord, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into our windows. And this is why I'm reading this, because death is getting ready to start raining, man. All right? The Lord is getting ready to start blowing limbs off. All right? Crazy mass shootings. Bombs going off. Okay? It says, For death is come up into our windows and is entered into our palaces, to cut off the children from without and the young men from the streets. Speak, thus saith the Lord, even the carcasses of men shall fall as dung upon the open field, and as the handful after the harvestman, and none shall gather them. Okay? This is where we at. All right? This is where we are, people. And if you iffy, you don't know what the hell going on, you better do some serious fasting and praying for the mercy of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to be bestowed upon you. For you not to for you to be in the right spirit, all right, right now. Okay? We not in the time to be in no iffy, bullshit ass spirit, man. Okay? So from there, we're going to end it here in the book of Ephesians chapter 5, starting at verse 14. It says, Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and the Messiah, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Okay? It could be a normal day, and all of a sudden, you could be at LAX or something, You could be right there, live by LAX, and you see a missile come up and shoot some planes down, blow them up, because of these people got them surface-to-air missiles over here. Simultaneously, these things can happen all over the states. Okay? The days are evil. We're not in the time to be out here just not paying attention. Okay? The scripture says circumspect, meaning spect to look, and circum is 360 degrees. Knowing what's going on around you, man, when you out and about. Okay, it says, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not wise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. All right, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord, giving thanks always for all things unto the Most High and the Father, in the name of our Lord Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. All right. But so the point being is, we in them times. All right. The days are evil. You got people that would have this type of information that would, know that these things are indeed happening, and there's no stopping it, like you heard them say. All right. We in the time of trial. All right. Tribulation period. Things are going to continue to ramp up, and Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Ratazah, that he protects and keeps his elect as it is written. So call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Lord will, this was edifying and exhorting to the hopeful elect. All you got to do is type in what you see on the screen, Sean Ryan Show, Sam Shoemate. You'll get the full episode. All right, so Shalom, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and we on to the next.